Welcome back to the Full Court Trap Podcast, episode 2. Today we are going solo. Really wanted to talk about the games from last weekend, give my predictions for this weekend, and talk about Belichick and the Patriots parting ways. So, yeah, I was supposed to have my friend on here. He's going to be coming on next week. Very excited to have him on here. But for now, just going to be doing this one solo. Probably a much quicker podcast than the last one, but just want to talk about a few things. And yeah, so let's just get into it. First, the big news, as a Patriots fan, kind of hard to believe, but Bill Belichick and the Patriots parting ways after 24 seasons. Man, I thought this day was a day for celebration, man. Obviously, the last few years have been tough, or last 2 years really, have been tough, as Patriots fans, and I'm sure for Belichick too. But he always stayed professional. The defense never fell apart under him, even though they had injuries, Christian Gonzalez and Judon going down this year. Man, he always, had the defense ready. Unfortunately, there was not very much talent offensively. Whether you want to blame the general manager Belichick for that, which personally I would give him a little bit of blame, but ultimately as a football mind, there will never be another Belichick. 6 Super Bowls in 24 seasons, 6 in his first 19, I believe. Probably something we'll never see again, just because the NFL is always changing, and for him to do it in the era he did it is really unheard of. And it's tough to see, but ultimately, you get to look back and really celebrate everything that happened during those 24 seasons. Now that he's not here anymore, so it's cool, and I'm really excited about the Gerard Mayo hiring. I think he's got a lot of Belichick's mindsets in terms of he's been in the Belichick system since he was 21, 22 years old. He's 37 now. He's young. He's got the opportunity to hire a offensive coordinator. They're gonna hire a new GM, and I think they've got a chance to really rebuild here. They got a number 3 overall pick, and he's gonna get his own staff in there. So I'm just excited to see what happens, man. Like I always tell people, I don't think that rebuilds are. I always think that rebuilds are actually something you look back on at a certain point as a fan and be like, wow, that was a fun time. Like, I'm a Cavaliers fan for basketball, as you guys know. And the first, that first 4 years I was watching, they didn't make the playoffs, but those teams were so fun. I mean, the first year, there was a lot of aging veterans out of the, LeBron years, so that was tough. But the next 3 years with Kyrie, Tristan Thompson taking over, and, Deion Waiters and guys like that, it was, it was a lot of fun to watch the young guys just grow and develop. And I think that's always fun. Your team doesn't have to be going 12-5 every year for it to be fun, but ultimately I feel like these last couple of years were not fun as a Patriots fan just because the team wasn't entertaining. So, I think they've got a real opportunity to get some really skilled players now, and I'm excited to see what happens. I think Gerard Mayo is going to do a great job, really smart guy, was a great player, great defensive mind, and they just got to figure out the offense. And I think they will. I think they will, and I don't think next year they'll be good, but I think they're building pieces for the year after or the year after that to be a really solid football team again. So I'm excited for that. Obviously I'll cover more Patriots in the when the free agency and draft come along, but I just wanted to thank Bill Belichick for everything he's done during his 24 years, man. I think my favorite Bill Belichick performance as a coach was that Rams Super Bowl, the second one. The 2018-2019 game where that Rams offense was so good all year, and Belichick came up with a game plan that just shut him down. They said that after, in those last few seconds after, the play calls came in, Belichick would change up the defense to make it, really confusing for Goff, and ultimately, whatever he did in that game, it was incredible because Goff had, no success, and he was a really good quarterback that whole year. And there's so many amazing things Belichick did. I mean, it's really hard to, even believe that he's not there anymore. But all good things must come to an end, and I think it was the time. So, congrats to Belichick on an amazing career. We'll support him wherever he goes, unless it's the Cowboys, which it does not look like it'll be the Cowboys. So that's a good thing. Looks like it'll be the Falcons or the Chargers. McCarthy's going back to the Cowboys. So yeah. Good luck to Belichick wherever he goes. But then wanted to get into the games that happened last weekend. So the first game of the weekend was the Browns at Texans, and man, I got this game completely wrong. I thought the Browns defense was going to really take over. Flacco was going to play a great game, might make a couple mistakes, but it'll be all right because the Browns defense will be able to cover it. Browns defense lost in the game. People want to talk about Flacco. Browns defense couldn't, those defensive backs couldn't get a receiver within 5 yards of them half the game, it felt like. I mean, it was terrible. And, two Flacco interceptions, I'll defend those. I think the first one, his arm got hit pretty badly. It was trying to throw the ball out of bounds, and, his arm just got hit. The offensive line wasn't giving him time all day. And the second one was a 4th and 2, down 17. You kind of have to, you have to throw the ball there. You can't take the sack, and, he probably threw it to the wrong place, but he knew he had to get rid of the ball, and that's what it is. Then on to the Saturday night, game in the negative 30-degree with wind chill weather in Kansas City. Miami at Kansas City. Honestly, what I got out of this game is that NFL players are just insane human beings, because I'm sorry, but you're that rich, you're whatever. How are you playing in that weather? Some of the guys didn't even have sleeves on. I mean, that's insane to me. But yeah, the Dolphins they should have been running the ball that game. They weren't. The Chiefs shut down the run when they did it, and outside of one big play of Tyreek Hill, the Dolphins offense didn't do anything. Mahomes didn't play a very good game. Didn't really matter. Yeah, Chiefs won. Pretty boring football game. A lot of these games were pretty boring, to be honest. Then at 1 o'clock on Sunday, we were supposed to have Bills Steelers, but that got postponed for a snowstorm in Buffalo. Postponed to the next day. So we had what was 4:30? I think 4:30 was the Packers. Yeah, it was the Packers going into Dallas and upsetting the Cowboys. Now, this is where the exciting part of the weekend started. Because even though, it was a blowout, 48-32, that wasn't even as close as the score said. It was really 48-16, and the Packers let him get a couple late touchdowns. It was really cool seeing the birth of Jordan Love being a great quarterback for the Packers. And, he's had a great last half of the season, but he really showed it on the big stage in Dallas. Everyone expected Dallas to win this game, and man, Jordan Love and the Packers defense, you gotta give a lot of credit to too, man. They had 2 big interceptions early, pick 6. They really dug Dallas in a hole, and Jordan Love was making incredible throws. To me, he was the most impressive quarterback all weekend. And Packers really earned this win. Love seeing the Cowboys go home. So that was big win for the Packers. And stay tuned, because I think they might have a chance in San Francisco today. Then we got what was the second game that day? It was the game of the weekend, Rams at Lions. Now, my take on this, very happy for the Lions. First playoff win in a long time, first home game. I think first playoff win in 30 years, and their first home playoff game in 30 years as well. That place looked, it was going crazy. I was watching this game with 3 Lions fans. They were all super excited. They were saying they sacrificed the Pistons go on 4-game losing streak. They don't care. They sacrificed the Pistons for this, which respect. Great week for Michigan sports, by the way, with Michigan win the college football national championship, and then the Lions win their first playoff game in a long time. Ultimately, though, my question, so both quarterbacks were awesome in this game. The Lions did falter a little down the stretch, but no harm, no foul. They won the game. My big question with this game, you're the Rams. You have a 4th and 13 at the Lions 43. There's 4 minutes left. You're down 1. Number one, you can't take that holding penalty to play before. You have to run a play that's, at least got to make sure you get a field goal off. My thing is, you either have to kick the field goal or go for it there. With 1 timeout left in 4 minutes, it's very hard to stop. It's very hard to tell your defense you have to get a stop. You can't, you get 3 and out basically. And, Lions hadn't been going 3 and out most of the day. I mean, obviously the offense wasn't as good as second half, but I did not understand that decision at all. From a genius like McVay, I didn't get that one. I didn't understand it. So, but congrats to the Lions. I think the Rams have a really nice future. We are going to have a Rams fan on here next week, so I will reserve some of the Rams talk for that conversation. But great season for the Rams. I called it before the season, them making playoffs. I called the Lions being a great team before the season, and both those things worked out. Now on to Pittsburgh at Buffalo. This one started really rough for Pittsburgh. It was 21-0. They couldn't get anything going. And then they came back, man. Mason Rudolph, as I've said the last few weeks, Mason Rudolph's been playing great football. They started playing great football again. They make it 24-17. And then the Bills made some plays. And the Bills got a touchdown. It's basically where the game ended. But Steelers did fight. I think that they showed they belonged in the playoffs to me. And, if Josh Allen made a mistake in this game, I think the Steelers might have won. So, that's the case with that game. And then, the Buccaneers, Eagles. Buccaneers, Eagles, man. Eagles, one of the worst collapses in NFL history. Very happy for Baker Mayfield. He showed up on the biggest stage like he has before in the Cleveland Pittsburgh game a few years ago. And he played awesome. They got it done, and they won 32-9. And they have a very interesting game in Detroit tomorrow. So, on to the games this week. I got Baltimore beating Houston. I think Baltimore is just so perfect in every area. I think they're going to give Houston's offense a lot of problems. Baltimore can play from behind now, but I don't think they will. I think they'll get off to an early lead. I think they'll win this game. I'm not going to say it's going to be like I'm not going to say it's like a 30-point game or anything, but I'd say like 28-13. I don't think Houston has much of a chance in this game. Then on to Packers at 49ers. I'm actually giving the Packers at 49ers a better chance of being the upset today. I think Packers are playing really strong right now. The 49ers are exposable, if that's the word. The 49ers offense is definitely exposable. The defense is really good. It's not all-time great, but it is very good. I think the 49ers win this game, but I would not be surprised if Jordan Love continues his magical run and shocks the world and beats the 49ers today. Then on to the 3 o'clock game tomorrow. The game I'm probably most excited for this weekend, Buccaneers at Lions. Two teams many people didn't expect to be here. And I think this will be a really good game. I think you'll see early who really has the edge. The Buccaneers defense starts to take over. Baker Mayfield has one of his great games. I think, you could potentially see a Buccaneers upset. I'm going to pick the Lions. I think the Lions at home, they're going to be fired up. And they played great last week. So, gonna take the Lions, but I would take Buccaneers +6. I think that line's too big for this game. So yeah, that's gonna be an awesome game. And then we got Chiefs at Bills. I know it's the game everyone's really excited for. I'm taking Bills at home. This has been a rivalry. A lot of great games in this series. Obviously the Chiefs have won all the playoff games. The Bills have won all the regular season ones. I feel like Bills take this one. They've been hot recently. Chiefs still have not impressed me all season. I mean, the game last weekend was not impressive. None of their games this season have impressed me. So I'm taking the Bills. Hate both teams very much. But I'm taking the Bills in that one. So I think it will be a Ravens Bills and 49ers Lions conference championships. So that's my thoughts on football this weekend, man. Excited for these games. Then on to basketball. Wanted to give some Cavs talk real quick, man. Man, the way they're playing right now is amazing. I mean, just won by 40 in Milwaukee with them having everyone but Giannis playing. I mean, made Damian Lillard look like he's playing basketball for the first time in his life, man. Isaac Okoro shut him down. I believe that he was 4-15 when guarded by Okoro. Amazing game by the Cavs. I just want to tell you guys Jarrett Allen's recent stats right now. So here we go. So first of all, just to make sure. So we had that Bucks game, Bulls game. They were up by a lot. Then kind of blew it. Then finished it out strong. Same thing with that Nets game. And just playing great basketball. Making it so they get off to these early leads is important. And Jarrett Allen's recent stats, man. In the last 11 games, he has all right, so he had 19, 17, and 7 against Chicago, 24, 23, and 6 against Dallas, 30, 12, and 6 against Milwaukee, 16, 3, and 11 against Toronto, 17, 7, and 19 against Washington, 12, 6, 12, 12, 12, and 3 against Washington. Did I mention the 17, 19, 17 against Washington? I think I did. And then 29, 16, and 2 against San Antonio, 12, 12, and 4 against Brooklyn, 10, 14, and 3 against Chicago, and 21, 13, and 3 against Milwaukee. So just incredible games by Jared Allen, man. He should be an all-star. I posted a short on my thoughts on that. Check that out. Donovan Mitchell is playing at an MVP level right now, making this team really stay in the not only in the 4 seed race, but they're right there at the 2 and 3 seed Bucks and 76ers right now. And it's a very important week for them coming up. They got game in Atlanta tonight. They got Orlando on Monday. They got Milwaukee back to back on Wednesday and Friday, all on the road. If they can win like 3 or 4 of those games, they're in the driver's seat for potential 2 or 3 seeds. So yeah, I'm excited. And that's all I gotta say, man. The whole team's playing great. George Niang had the game of his career the other night, 33 on 13 of 14 shooting. Darius Garland, Evan Mobley coming back soon. So we will see what happens, but I'm excited. Some other things I'm excited about in the NBA, Utah Jazz, with all those former Cavs players playing very good basketball. They just, I mean, they almost beat the Thunder the other night, 15-20 after starting, I think, what was it, 9-16, 7-16, something like that. Just a crazy run by them. Pascal Siakam to the Pacers. That team is dangerous. That's going to be very interesting to see what happens there. I don't know. I think it ranked them like 5th or 6th in the East still, but that team's dangerous for sure. And if him and Halliburton could really get down chemistry, that could be scary. Ultimately, I think they should trade Miles Turner still. But yeah, that team's nice. DeJounte Murray, I know everyone's talking about trades. I think he's going to end up staying put. I think they'll trade like Clint Capella, DeAndre Hunter. I don't think they'll trade him. Front offices love to not be wrong, and they traded 3 first-round picks for him recently. They're not going to get that value back. He just hit 2 game winners. I'm expecting DeJounte to stay in Atlanta. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I know this was shorter. We're going to have another one coming very soon. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.